un comique juste pour rire seulement. Non. Allez voir Eddie Izzard ou quelque chose comme ça. Il parle français.
Hey, I'm at the Montreal Just for Laughs Festival. The place is crawling with comics. You can come and hang with us if you're cool and you don't get offended by anything.
The chicken with a poker and my life is full of shit. Somebody started a fight or something. Somebody started a fight or something. Somebody started a fight or
What has been the greatest thing about hanging out with you at Montreal Just for Laughs this year is that I learned so much about you, starting with how fucking huge your balls are.
I do. I actually have, those are all mine. I know what you're thinking. He moved to LA and got silicone nuts. That's not the case. And on camera, they're going to add 10 pounds to them. So.
Are giant balls a thing that people like?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, the big, huge balls.
I don't know, but I'd certainly like to look at the pictures.
Yeah.
I have enormous balls.
I've been doing stand-up for 22 years. I have a huge penis at this point. I really do.
You have to.
You do.
It's true.
Does stand-up masculinize you?
You think? Yeah. I keep my balls in my bra now, and it's better. No, I think you have to. I think that, you know, men don't really love being dominated. Well, hello. You do.
You know what that shit costs downtown?
Do you know that there was a really famous dominatrix all through Sabrina called Madame Hilda? I was like...
What do you mean, on the show?
Yes, we had a dominatrix on the show. And,
Yeah, because the kids like that.
yeah. Okay, do you remember the show, oh, it's like the demise of Western civilization.
Tough Crowd?
No.
You motherfucker! You motherfucker!
Hey, I still got it, baby.
How about when you were on remote control and someone came up to you and said, what, the worst insult you ever got? Come on.
No, it was a couple of years after remote control. This girl comes up to me and goes, "Are you Colin Quinn's father?"
What was the what?
The Cat House show on HBO.
Oh, Cat House.
Cat House
The
Blues?
brothel.
Yeah.
The brothel. Okay. It's the demise of Western civilization. I don't know if you remember this particular episode.
But yeah, you can cite a specific episode.
Many. I watched them all. I ended up telling the story on Conan about this particular episode where I can't even tell this crowd because they'll...
No, do it.
No, they'll take away my green card. But it's so filthy.
No.
Really?
You can't do that.
Okay, it's the guy goes in and, oh my God, are there children here that watch Sabrina? I'm sorry. And
Caroline.
Okay.
Nobody watched Sabrina.
Wow! You know what?
Jesus, he's 2 for 2.
Yeah, fuck you. Hold on, I've just got to sit on my giant pile of residuals. Anyway. Yeah. On in every country for 14 years, whatever.
Namaste,
And,
namaste.
Whatever. Yeah, you have a nice day too. So it's when the guy goes in, it's his anniversary, and he's like, I want you to do something really, really crazy. And the prostitute goes, oh my God. I'm like, she goes, you say it. Do you want to fuck your wife in the after?
What?
I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it either, but I love that she'd just go, this is so horrible. Colin will say it.
But I think Colin should tell me, and then I tell you, and then you tell, and then it comes out like telephone. All right, she said, he goes, I want you to do something really crazy, like you've never done before. And then the woman goes, "You want me to fuck your wife in the ass with the dildo?" Okay, I said it. So she
And he
said,
goes-
"Yeah, $3,000." Like he just ordered the special. You know what I mean? It was like nobody was phased or anything. It was just like
So
horrifying.
he wanted her to fuck him in the ass with a dildo?
Oh God!
No.
Don't make me explain anymore. Wait a minute.
Oh, wait, no. We weren't able to hear you. So
Okay.
what's going on here? Just start over.
I'm
Start over.
confused.
I know what you're saying.
And then he said, "And while you're doing that, I'm gonna."
Fuck you in the ass.
Okay, good. Okay.
So she's fucking him, he's
I
fucking
feel
her.
like Otto and George.
Wasn't that a movie?
I'm gonna fuck you in the ass?
And then I'm gonna fuck you in the ass.
Is that Julia Roberts and Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You've got AIDS. That was a good one.
Oh my God.
I love AIDS jokes. So underrated.
Anyway, the whole point is I tell the story on Conan, and the next day I'm at a club and I get this package from the guy who owns the.
Dennis Hoff.
What's his name?
Dennis Hoff.
Okay, apparently
I've
Tony
met
is
him.
very. Yeah, okay.
Tony, you lived at the Bunny Ranch for a while.
he's
didn't
And
you?
he says, "We love you here at the ranch. We have a lot of comedians who are regular customers. Colin Quinn and Carrot Top. That is the point of the story." Oh my God.
You know what the best part is that the most embarrassing part of that story for Colin is Carrot Top.
Oh, wait a minute. In fairness to me,
Yeah.
I wasn't a regular customer. I went there once.
You're lumped in with prop johns.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that this is disillusioned Liz about me.
I'm just wondering if the hooker said, "Are you Colin Quinn's dad?"
It would be so great if you fucked her going, "Who's Colin Quinn's daddy? Who's Colin Quinn's daddy?"
And she doesn't react, and you go, "Tough crowd."
That's true, that's true.
Whoa. How about Tony Clifton?
Oh, yeah. Oh, look.
That's out.
Hey, Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton's here, folks.
Give me a little tell them who I am, just in case they don't know.
Tony Clifton, former opening act of the great Andy Kaufman, folks.
Yeah.
Is there any Indian porn?
It's not good.
You're not even allowed to kiss in Bollywood movies. What would the porn be? Call me.
Well, she's about to go down on him, and then she starts singing around his cock.
Hey, whoa. I know Caroline. What's your name? Caroline Ray.
What's your name? I know you.
took
Yes,
over.
Tony.
Wait a second. You took over. This is true with the Rosie O'Donnell thing, right?
Yes, it went very well. It's still on in many countries.
Does Rosie O'Donnell look like Ralph Cramden, or am I nuts?
I want to hear more about Indian porn.
Yeah, I think I want to go back to Indian porn.
Well, fuck you. Fuck you. I'll just sit here. I'll sit here with my fucking bitch and drink and have some fun. Go ahead. Go on. Do your thing.
Tony Clifton, everybody.
Tony Clifton.
It's Irish, right? Hey, what's the difference between an Irish wedding and an Irish funeral?
What?
One less drunk.
Where were we? Indian porn.
Indian porn.
There's Indian porn stars in mainstream porn.
Of course.
I actually dated one. She was a great girl.
Did you make a movie with her in Big Bollywood?
Hey, I actually do have a serious question for you.
Okay.
You do all this stuff about being Indian, which you're not actually. You're Canadian.
He's
Mom
from
and Dad are Indian.
Toronto. He's so
Right.
Canadian.
I'm very Canadian.
What warrants very Canadian?
I don't know, I'm apparently an exotic domestic. I'm the Corvette of Indians.
You say things about the Indian population here or Indian immigrants, and people love you for it. Lisa Lampanelli goes out there and she talks about everybody in the most insulting ways, and people love her for it. But then Tracy Morgan goes out and does something, and it ends up being a whole thing. Like, how does that happen? Why doesn't it happen to one person but another?
Well, I go out and talk about everybody, first of all. But because I'm a non-white and I'm a not.
Tracy Morgan's a stupid. Whoa.
Tony, shut the fuck up.
Well, he is. He is.
Oh, God.
Paul,
Yes, sir.
it's going great.
The thing about the Tracy Morgan thing, it's like
That whole thing I thought was bullshit.
It was.
the Tracy
It
Morgan
was
thing.
absolute ridiculous bullshit.
But hang on.
I can't stand people who everything's funny, then the shit comes around to them, and then all of a sudden they stop saying it's jokes, they say it's statements. And I'm not saying because I wasn't there, and he got like tried. Look, you weren't there, I wasn't
No,
there,
but
and I
that's not
just
the
felt
point
like
I'm
he
gonna
didn't get a chance to say. He just immediately went into apology mode, and then all of a sudden they're parading him around like this trophy. I don't feel he got a fair shake. That's all I'm saying.
But here's the thing, and this is the only thing I'll say about the thing that I believe about this is.
No, it isn't, but go ahead.
Shut the fuck up, Tom. You get to say whatever you want. We all get to, right?
Absolutely.
But the second it comes out of our mouths, it's no longer in our control about how it's supposed to be interpreted. People can hate it. They can do whatever you want. So every time you say something, like I always say, the only thing I promise my audience is that I wrote something I care about. I say it because I believe it. The second it comes out of my fucking mouth, you can hate it, you can write your congresspeople, you can call your network, and that's the bottom line, is that we all have to deal with the shit that comes to us from saying what we say.
Right, but
And-
that's
No,
my
I have no
but-
problem.
but-
No
Wait,
joke.
you know
I want to
what?
ask Colin Quinn, because he was on Saturday Night Live.
I have
and
no
with
problem
Tracy
with that.
Morgan, how did you feel? Should he apologized or not? Do you think that was...
Like you said, he was a stupid. Listen, I don't want to. I couldn't resist.
This is how I believe it. Like, the person who said it knows what they meant by it. If you process it in a fucked up way, ask him how he meant it first.
But you don't get that luxury. As a comedian, you don't get the luxury to say, but I really meant to say it this way.
I realize that.
But here's what it really rests on, is that the whole thing came off of one guy's blog. Every
One guy's
news
interpretation.
item about it. And how do we know he's not a dick? We weren't there. Sometimes some audience people can't see irony from a million miles away.
But did Tracy deny saying it? No. Did the guy get it wrong? No. Those two things
How do
we
you know that?
Because Tracy didn't say, wait, dude, that's not exactly what I
Yeah, but
said.
whether he said something offensive or not, I just thought it was fucked up that one guy went home like with, I guess, the greatest memory ever, like a stenographer, and typed it out, and everybody's like, that's what he said, and that's what he meant, because guy in seat number 5F said it. And next thing you know, he's going around got to apologize. That's kind of a scary thing as a comedian.
Well,
I've
and it
seen
wasn't
Tracy's
funny.
His show is crazy.
It
His
is
show
pretty
is pretty
crazy, yeah.
over the top.
Tracy's genuinely
So
out of
it's
his mind,
not
though.
like he's up there like, what's up with end tables, and then goes into that shit. And that's when it comes to me where you're doing like this selective getting offended.
I got one I get in trouble for.
Just the one. Just got the one he gets in trouble.
What's the fucking difference between a Jew and Santa Claus? Santa Claus comes down the chimney. Now, I could say that because I had a fucking relative. I had a fucking relative who died in Auschwitz.
There we go.
Okay? That's why I could say this. This gives me the fucking right to say it. Because I had a fucking relative who died at Auschwitz.
Apparently the wrong one.
I wouldn't fucking do it. I wouldn't touch me. Get your fucking hand. Hey, man. Don't fuck with me.
Whoa, what the fuck? Whoa!
Hey. I got one thing to say.
Yeah?
I got one thing to say. Can I say one thing?
Live from New York.
One thing to say.
Yeah.
If I made one person happy, it's all been worth it.
He's a true performer.
He fucking commits.
He commits.
Yeah.
Where were we?
So anyway, I was trying to remember what he was heckling. I just remember cocksuckers, so I think we were talking about gay people.
There we go.
You know, the fucking lesson here is the gay community has a very strong activist community who, when they hear shit against them, they take it to the mat, and guess what? Shit happens.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that. guess what shit happens? So like so then you have to just.
I mean, if there's one
I mean,
people
because you got to tell you, like, that word, it can mean other things. It just can be ball breaking anytime you play sport. I was playing hockey the other day, okay? And this guy, he knocked me down. I felt stupid. I got up. He asked me, he goes, you all right? And I go, yeah, you faggot. Like, it was this oddly intimate moment. He was going, are you okay? And we were on the ice, and it made me uncomfortable. And I said, hey, you faggot, get away from me.
So you want us to believe that you're fucking skating around with your buddy on the ice, figure skating, and we're supposed to believe you're Mr. fucking Monk.
You see what he's doing now? He's using like homophobia. Hey, you're twirling out there in your dress.
Hey, twirling out there in your little
see
skates.
that? That's what guys do.
We're supposed
This is what guys do. It always becomes.
You know what?
Hey, you're there, you little sissy boy.
That's just ridiculous.
It's just, what is ridiculous? I don't think that they shouldn't be allowed to be married. I don't think they should be treated like second-class citizens. I think the way.
You just think you can say faggot derogatorily when you're on the ice when there's nobody gay around. That's what you think.
It came out because of my childhood.
But you don't think.
But because of that word, then it's going to be like, oh, this is how he feels about gay people, and then he has to go apologize. It's ridiculous.
There's reactionary words, and then there's words that.
And faggot is one of them.
Yeah, but it's. I say it to my friends. I'll call my friend, like, what are you doing tonight? He goes, I got to go out with my wife. I go, faggot. And then I'll hang up the phone. And there's nothing gay about it.
Yeah,
but it's
by the
just
way,
a word that seems so ridiculous.
I meant to tell you to stop doing that to me.
Stop hanging out with her.
Yeah.
But you said something interesting about when it's individual words. Like, a lot of people will get busted just for using a word, and the context goes away, and the irony goes away, and all that sort of stuff. But you made a really interesting point when I was talking to you for the book Satiristas about how what it does is give a roadmap to racists to not get in trouble, because all they have to do is avoid certain words.
Yeah, you can kind of leap across the pond because they just know what not to say, and they can continue thinking it.
But wait a minute.
Well, why did that, just out of curiosity, like, why was it that faggot was the word that came to you when he was trying to help you?
Okay, no, this is the thing. This is the
You're
question.
subconsciously gay, is what she's saying.
No, I'm not. I just think that.
Why are you judging that?
No, but this
is what happens, exactly.
Exactly, right?
No, this right here is these are the questions that they should ask. Rather than saying, you said it, so it means this. Why did it come? Because of the way I grew up, because of the way guys are. You're not supposed to be, I fell down, are you okay? Yeah, it's like, you're not supposed to.
Why does the word, but obviously.
He's from Boston.
Well, you know what?
No, I get that.
That's what they say.
So why didn't he use the
You know what? And one person from Boston's going to get fucking offended and be like, well, what do you mean by that? We're not all from Southie. And then how did you mean Boston?
You described Boston perfectly. How did you describe it?
It's like a racist San Francisco. It's got that nice sort of, if I was going to live in a city and raise kids, I could do this. It's got culture. It's got the symphony. And then it has all of that. Hey, you fucking quit. It's got all that shit.
But you see, when I was growing up in the Bronx,
right,
which is similar to, vibe as where you grew up.
What neighborhood are you from in the Bronx?
Pound Parkway area.
Guinea bastard. Go ahead.
Now the guinea pigs are going to be upset.
Yeah, but when I was a kid growing up in the Bronx, a faggot had we didn't know what homosexual was, like 8, 9 years old. Faggot just meant you wouldn't, press the doorbell and run away.
Right.
What about George Colin's great routine?
What's that?
He goes, when he was growing up, a fag was the guy that wouldn't go downtown with you and beat up the queers. He goes, go home, fag.
But yeah, but that's it. That in our background, I mean, I literally didn't know that it had a sexual component until probably maybe 12, 13, 14.
Now that you do know that, it still comes out.
It actually struck me as funny, and I thought it would be a great bit because the bit is actually two straight guys. You can't have that fucking moment of I was worried about you.
Right.
You can't have it. You get all weird, dude, get the fuck away from me. You're just not allowed to have that moment.
So in the bit,
but it has nothing to do with gay people. But then that knee-jerk reaction is, oh, you said that word. Let's look it up on the chart. Oh, that means this and it means that, and now you have to go on TV because on the chart it means you meant that when you said it.
But when you did that bit, it was really criticizing yourself for not being able to accept some sensitivity from another guy.
That's why guys drop dead at 50 from 40 years of not being able to admit a puppy's cute. You just got to keep pushing it down. And it's actually, it's a weakness. But
So
the
you were
question
actually-
Liz asked is the way they should go about it when shit like that happens, rather than having one guy who got offended be like, he said this is exactly what he said, and this is what the fuck it meant. Apologize. Here's your podium.
That's all I wanted to get to. That's right.
Yeah. See? And look what we got to. We got to
Once
someplace
again,
interesting.
guys, Whoa. Once again, who is determining how somebody's intent is? Who is to determine, hey, you know, the way you said that was mean-spirited. I know a lot of fucking idiots that think a lot of shit is mean-spirited just because it goes against what they believe. Everything is subjective to each audience. So you can say one thing in front of one audience, say the same thing, and those people are offended because it offends them. Just like me. There's shit that offends me. But it's like, I can't make those determinations.
What offends you?
All right, this is a bad example, but
Well, no, people get crazy. I mean, like, I was on Twitter the other day. Jake Tapper from ABC News wrote, thanks, LA Times, because they reported that the grandson of someone famous, who I can't remember who, was shooting at some plane. So I wrote back to him, the only thing that would make the story more boring is if the person had psoriasis, because they were fucking talking about Kim Kardashian with psoriasis endlessly on the news, right? The national psoriasis people send me a Twitter thing, psoriasis is fucking serious and it's no joke. And I wrote back, yes it is, fuck you. And so...
That's why I always say you remind me of Dorothy Parker.
That's right. So Colin, I tell the story to Colin in the airport yesterday. He goes, really? And he shows me his psoriasis on his elbow. And I have psoriasis on my foot.
that's why we can say it.
Yes, that's right.
But no, that brings up a really good point. Like, you always say Indian people are cheap,
Yes.
and then you tell a personal story with your dad.
Right.
So it's really a personal story, but you talk about it as Indian culture in general. And
Yeah.
you don't get in trouble for it, right?
Because the thing is, when I'm saying these things about me or my people, I'm really generalizing about everybody, because at the end of the day, we all end up doing the exact same shit, but everybody thinks they're the only ones that do it. So when I'm talking about Indian people are cheap, there's Romanians reading, oh, we are cheap too, you know, and or whatever you're talking about. They're always like, everybody thinks they're the only people that do this, and at the end of the day, they hear me say it, and they go, so it's not just us, it's them too, you know? That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So do you get people who just
Yeah.
like really don't like Indian people cheering for the wrong reasons?
Yes, you can tell by the laughter when the laughter, you know what I mean? And
Does that mess with you when you're on stage? Like,
yeah, but it kind of fucks with my head a little bit, because I'm like, you motherfuckers are missing the point here.
And I wonder when people talk about race, and I've never seen your act, so I don't know.
Appreciate that.
But Bill, and so, but with Bill, I
great
feel
state of
like when
Canada.
you talk about race, it evokes more questions and people talking. So why bring up race if you don't want to have a conversation that goes on further about race? Why just make a joke about, oh, my people are stupid, or my people are cheap, or whatever it is? What's the point of that ultimately?
I go for the perspective of culture, because culturally, it's completely different than race. We're outsiders, and when you're an outsider, you have a better perspective of everything, and the more of an outsider you are, the more perspective you gain.
But you do this Asian character, phenomenal voices, but I can't believe you don't get in trouble for it.
No, because if there's any Chinese people here, they'll know. They immediately come to me and go, that was the best Hong Kong accent I ever heard. And they recognize it immediately.
I remember that too, watching, like, I would watch Def Jam. And if it was a generic white voice, it would annoy me. But if it was a specific white voice, like you could picture the guy, and then you'd be like, that shit actually happened.
Yeah.
That's funny. But if it was just like, oh, I'm sitting in a chair.
Well, yeah.
I hated that. But like,
Richard Pryor was the first person I ever heard who was not white do white voices. For the first time in my life, I was in the position of being the culture that is genericized to some stereotype that's like really not makes you feel good.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I was watching Def Jam, and this comic opened up with, bitches ain't shit. And I was like, wow.
Let's be honest, they ain't shit. I mean,
yeah, but if you really got underneath what he was saying, he was probably just afraid to get into a relationship, you know?
I know.
There's layers. Hey.
Right.
I
didn't even think of it
You
that
gotta go.
way.
You gotta go right now.
Yeah, I got to 10:30. We started.
You gotta go do a show.
Yes, I do. Thank you
you
so
for
much
being
for
here.
having me, everybody. All right, thank you. All right, guys.
finally
Now you get to get some ballroom.
Some ballroom. Hey, it's the ballroom blitz.
Have you ever offended your audience? Have you ever crossed the line?
You know, the funny thing, one time I was on stage doing my Asian bit. Everybody's laughing, having a good time. Gotta get paid, I guess. Bitch better have my money.
Bitches ain't shit.
So I'm on stage doing my thing. A fucking white guy gets up.
Yeah.
You're a racist asshole.
For making fun of Chinese people's accents.
It's because his girlfriend was Asian.
Ah.
And I'm like, she's laughing, you fucking tardo pilardo. And I was like, who are you getting mad for? Because the other Asians are fucking laughing, you dummy.
That's the thing, is that a lot
People
of...
get mad on behalf. It is insulting to the people you're defending because basically you're
Thank
saying
you.
they're too fucking stupid to hear what you're saying.
Right.
Which is doubly insulting.
Trying to decide what people are going to get. You have to write what you believe and know and think is funny. And if people want to react and write letters and do all that shit, they get to. What I thought was very interesting, too, is if you listen to talk radio, I listen to it all the time. I monitor it constantly. And the racist shit that comes out of the mouths of like Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck, they have a massive audience that supports it. Advertisers advertise on it. You know, that comes into play too. You know, why is Tracy Morgan, who's a comedian whose intent was to be funny, get nailed, when why is Glenn Beck and Rush Limbaugh and these people,
whose intent
is to inform you and politicize and
Misinform you.
make bazillions of dollars. And I wonder if part of it is that people generally are like, I liked him, fuck him. Instead of, I hate Rush, I know he's gonna say that, so he gets a pass. Somebody like,
that's interesting.
you know, somebody like Tracy Morgan, they're like, oh.
Like, I'm a Colin Quinn fan, so I'll allow him to spew his racist hatred.
Yeah.
I have tickets to Bill Burr, so I have to.
Come in for Bill Burr! Caroline Ray! Come here, sweet cheeks. Liz Winstead! And Russell Big Balls Peter.
Come on, buddy. Let it all out.